Hey, this is Rob, and welcome to Classic Microcomputers. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite all-time systems, this guy right here. But first, let's do this. Alright, so before me and little kitty get started telling you about this specific one right here, let's do a little background on the wonderful Odyssey 2. So you got a little base to start with. Alright, so just a quick little overview of Odyssey 2 information. So at the time when it was released in 1978, it was done by Magnavox, and they used the Intel 8048 microcontroller. Now, if you don't know what a microcontroller is, it's like a CPU, but it also includes RAM and ROM and I/O stuff. So it actually had 64 bytes, just 64 bytes of internal RAM, and it had like 1K of ROM, I believe. But it did have an additional 128 bytes of RAM in the video and sound chip. It ran at 5.9 megahertz, which is pretty fast for the time. Had a resolution of 160 by 200 pixels at 16 colors. Had 4 user-defined sprites, which isn't a whole lot, and just monochrome sound. Actually, it sold over 2 million units globally, which is quite a bit, and it had a pretty good run if you think about it. I mean, 6 years is nothing to be ashamed of. They did 47 games officially by Magnavox. There was 81 official releases. There were some other companies. Magic made a couple games for it, at least one I know. And then it was really popular around the world, especially in Brazil. So in other places it was known as the Philips Video Pack, and it had numbers and letters like the G7000, I believe is what it was. But this is just a quick touch on it to give you a feel for what we're dealing with for a system. So it's funny because their slogan was the excitement of a game, the mind of a computer. I really don't know any computers that use the 8048 microcontroller. A lot of embedded systems use the 8048, 8049. Or later on it went off to be the 8051, but at the time this was pretty small, but it was used in a lot of different things just to control little systems or whatever. But it's really not to downgrade the system. It just didn't give it a whole lot of expandability. The ROM cartridges that you plug into the thing were primarily between 2K and 8K in size. So that's really what you're dealing with, but it's still a fine system overall, and it used a really unique use for the keyboard because it was a flat membrane keyboard. Later on we'll take a look at games that actually had an overlay that went on top of the membrane keyboard, and you actually had a cartridge that plugged in and a game board to play. So they really did pioneer some neat kind of ideas. But let's go ahead and get back to working on our system. Alright, so you got a little background on what this bad boy is about. Let's take a look at this one. So I actually got 3 of these in. 3, yes, 3. Okay, so I would consider this the older of the 3 that I have, and I'll show you why in a minute. So inside the box is let's just go here. It's joysticks. A power supply. And the system itself. Now normally it would also come with books and other things, you know, a user manual. TV adapter, but we're missing one crucial thing, which is why I wanted to tackle this one. So these are the joysticks. Now these joysticks on the older models have plugs like this. So on the back of the system, there's actually a spot that looks like an Atari style joystick. I do not know if the pin mapping is the same for these, but they plug into here. Now you'll notice in the newer ones, or what I consider the newer ones, is they don't have plugs. You can't unplug the joysticks. They're actually just go through into the case and are attached on the board. So one of the reasons why I want us to dig into this one in particular, so we can even test it, is the video cable actually has one of these weird ends on it. And I've seen this in the past, and you got to have the special switch box to actually use this. But what I'd like to do is I want to go ahead and open this sucker up, and I'll show you what's inside. And we're going to change this video cable out for right now. And if this system ends up working, what I'd like to do after is actually change it over to a composite, and we'll do a composite mod on it. So let's go ahead and get started. It does have a pretty nice rattle too. Let's go ahead and remove the screws. Seems to be 3 screws holding it in, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way. See if I got something that'll perfect. Now, according to what I was just telling you not too long ago, you'll see that the Odyssey is really a simplistic system. In fact, the case is a nut. The case is 3/4 empty. Looks like there was some kind of nut in there for some reason. So what I'd like to do is, I don't know if I can actually, this one actually has heat shields on it. So I guess I can't really show you what I wanted to show you. I wanted to actually show you the board itself. And, well, maybe we can do that. So we're going to remove this cable, though. We'll get another cable to put in here for right now. Okay. Looks like there's 3 screws holding it in. That cable clamp, what did I just do with that screw? Dang, I don't know where that just went. All right, let's keep going. 1, 2. Okay, be gentle. There's a one of those plasticky ribbon cables over here for the keyboard. I'm going to try to be careful with it so I don't tear it, just to show you. So, it's like the video modulator stuck on there. Maybe there's another screw. Oh, I think there might be. Let me see if I can just disconnect the wire and see what's holding it on. Yes, there's another cable over there. I don't want to rip it. It doesn't look like I'd be able to show you anyways. It looks like there's heat shields or RF shields all around the thing. So we'll just go ahead and lock it back down. Let me get a replacement cable for this. And then, all right, so I found another RCA style cable with both the RCA style ends on it. So I'm going to go ahead and steal this little loop off here. Give her a twist, and this is where we'll put her, inside of here. Oh, that end is real. Oh, I don't like that, but whatever. All right. You know what? I am just going to smash that down into there. I don't think that sucker's coming out. I'm not going to worry about it too much, because if it works, we're going to go back and revisit it anyways to do the composite mod. So don't forget to rehook the little wire I just took off. All right, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and get this hooked up. And yeah, I didn't screw down the RF modulator again, because I'm not really too worried about it. All right, all set. Let's hook it up and give it a try. All right, so I got everything hooked up. I saved you this boring part of me finding all the pieces and hooking it up. I have to go through a VCR to a composite monitor, okay, with an RF box, which I plugged in the power supply. So we are ready to test this together, and fingers crossed that we got everything right. You can test the Odyssey without a cartridge. It should show something. It won't be right. I did grab a cup of tea while I was doing this. So let's go ahead and give her a try. Let's see. I think we got right. I think we're right. Yes. All right, so I think we're good. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Oh. All right, looks like we had some sort of picture. Let's go ahead and give a cartridge a try. See if one of these will work. Hey, select game, but I'm not hearing any sound. Hold on. Try the other audio. There it is. All right, we'll select game number 1. Hey, all right. We are rolling. So I love the Odyssey. I think it is a wonderful system. And let's see if I hook a couple of joysticks up, if it does something. I don't know about these joysticks, look kind of questionable as it is. The cabling is pulling out, so we'll probably want to replace those after. And let's see. Hey, there it is. Oh man, gorgeous. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour, a little bit of a tour inside the Odyssey. We're going to dig in deeper later on in the upcoming weeks. I love the Odyssey. We're going to take a look at some of the games, some of the add-ons for it, and even some program development. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in an upcoming episode.